What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Deceptilab. This is your boy Freeze with a new series where I'm going to be talking about ranking the acid bots in Transformers Earth Wars. I got 9 bots total I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about them in each video individually. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will be right back. So since I'm doing the series, I want to go over the criteria. Keep in mind that it's not all inclusive, but I want to look at the health of the bot, the ability, the damage, how he synergizes with his teammates, the asset duration, as well as the combats and cores that are usable for the bot. And so this is kind of what I'm using as a guideline, just a general guideline at least, to try to see how I rank each one of these bots individually. So let's take a look at today's bot. All right, welcome back, everyone. And number 9 on my list is going to be Ramhorn. And part of what makes this decision difficult is Beast Wars Prowl on the Autobot side has a fire ability. I've always been one to say that abilities they should be exactly the same. Um, Even regardless of however you want to deal with the lore or anything like that, the abilities need to be the same. And now that we have an acid and fire meta, it actually kind of cheats the Autobots out of using this particular bot because this one is acid. But I actually want to go to and break down the stats. So let's switch over to the stat screen and take a look at those. So with Ramhorn, honestly, when he first was released, this is a bot that I really liked a lot. I feel like he's fun, and it just it didn't take long for the meta to pass him by. So let's take a look at his stats. For damage wise, 665.2 for a maxed out 4-star. You know, there's no 5-star for him yet. His health is very low at 18.4k. And I also want to look at the ability. So he's got the Acid Splurge, which says you heal yourself and increase your max health by 6.3k for the rest of the battle. For 15 seconds, you surround yourself in acid, causing 271 acid damage per second, and you do 5 times damage to walls. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's a cheap ability at 4 plus 2. The wall damage, a lot of people always get on me for liking the wall damage stuff, but it does make things easier, especially with a lot of front loading coming back into the meta and things like that. But I actually want to take a look at him on the battlefield, and I want to explain to you guys why I ranked him at number 9 on my list. So let's head over to the battlefield. Now, welcome to the battlefield, and I want to take a look at Ramhorn just in a regular battle, and just so we can take a look at his ability and start to analyze a little bit. So Ramhorn, cheap ability. Like I said, he's going to give you some acid. He's going to do a lot of wall damage. So I'm just going to target him on this build bot real quick. And let's see how he does. Because, so obviously with acid, you know, you have that anti-heal effect. One of the first things I notice is that the area of effect is relatively small. And I do like the duration overall because it's 15 seconds long. And to be honest, Ramhorn was kind of a trailblazer in what eventually became the boost that we gave to some of the warrior class bots. You know, he's get that max health boost. So I'm actually going to use his ability a second time. And before I do, watch his health meter as I get ready to use that ability. So when he first came out, I said, I mean, this bot's kind of fun because he is going to have that health boost. But the problem is, as you look, you're not able to spam that ability. I think if you spam the ability, it will be good. But look at how low his health is currently. Um, you know, 15 seconds is a long time to wait while you're being hit by different defenses and losing health at a faster rate than you're gaining health. Even with the 5 times wall damage, it's a little bit on the slow side. And I just kind of see him as a liability. Like this, if I was trying to use this bot in war or something like that, he's probably going to get killed, especially in the current meta. I mean, he's got low health right now, and I'm like in like a zone 14 battle, anything like that. For comparison, I've got him up there next to Bludgeon, and it's just it's tough, man, because the concept is really cool. So let's take a look at him with some combat bots and with the power core. So I'm gonna look at some possible what I would use on Ramhorn, and what I would use core wise. I say I'm gonna use the Amalgamous Prime core, see how that works with him, and just see if it changes things a little bit in some of his behaviors, especially with him having his ability last for 15 seconds. Now, for combat wise, see it's kind of strange because he can load up some of the he can load up pretty much anything. So you can use some of the ranged combats. He can also use minions. And it just seemed like a little bit bizarre. I'm gonna try using, since he's acid, I'm gonna try using Fireline and see if that makes a difference in his play. So let's go back to the battlefield and test out to see if that is a good pairing. Alright, so we're gonna go into another battle. Let's check it out in zone 14 to start. See if there's any difference in the performance of Ramhorn with the Amalgamous core. And this one looks like it might be a little bit too easy. But let's say he's gonna have Amalgamous and Fireline. See if it makes a difference. Now I know a lot of people backed off on Fireline after the nerf. However, it still combos with Acid. Acid is the meta. So let's see if it works a little bit better. In this case, I think the base is a little bit too simplistic. And one thing I'm looking at is like with it having range combats and a 15-second ability, you don't get to take full advantage of your combat if you use a range combat. So you might end up using a minion. You don't get to take advantage of the combos as much for a bot like Fireline, but you can kind of get it started. And this is what I'm talking about, where he actually looks like he's a really fun bot, just because, he does, he can tear stuff up pretty quickly at the lower levels. My concern is what he will do in higher levels, and so I actually want to check that out next. So this particular battle was a success. Let's go try this in the prime zone. All right, so now I'm just gonna move him into one of my teams, and so now I'm gonna move him into one of my teams. Gonna go into the prime zone, and I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to try to see how he will hold up as a 4-star in the prime zone. Um, Obviously, it's going to be a little bit weaker than in the actual war, but in this particular case, you get a decent setup for where you've got a lot of walls up front. Let's see how he and the team holds up. So I'm gonna drop the entire team here in this particular case. And he's already starting to lose health, so I'm gonna go use him for the walls on the near side. And I've got a good team, so it's going to. Now I did lose Fireline off of my knockout. So he started to lose health a little bit earlier, but you can already see the health down here is extremely low. It's bothering me a little bit. And I'm just going to, now I got a team split going on. But that health, with him only being like 18k ish around health, it's a little bit tough. But he does help get through here a little bit faster. Like I said, he's a fun bot. He's a really, really fun bot. If you can find a way to protect him, then you're good. If you can find a way to keep him back a little bit, then you might be good. And like I said, it's actually a bot that ultimately I want to like. And he's really, really cheap. So I'm actually going to skip past trying to go do Prime Zone. I'm going to try to use like an actual Prime League hard mode worthy base. So let's take a look at that as well. So this time I'm going to try a base trial on the test server against, well, not a base trial, but go attack one of my teammates. So in this case, you got Yoda on the test server. And let's see how Ramhorn holds up in this particular case. I'm going to start off. Actually, I'm stunned. I'm going to start off trying to target this build bot so that I can get it cleared so I can use some shields later on. Ramhorn's already taking a lot of damage. I'm going to run his ability one time, get some additional health. Let me get rid of these icons. And he's dead. So this is the biggest complaint that I have about him. Like, you could add a little bit more to him as a 4-star. And right now, now that I already lost Ramhorn, I'm a little bit irritated. I'm just going to let everything play out. But you can see a lot of my other bots are holding on for a little bit. They are 5 stars. But even as a 4-star, there are the 4 stars that I have that have stronger survivability than Ramhorn does, and it's a little annoying. So let's go over to the lab and discuss what I think we could do to make Ramhorn better. Welcome back to the lab, everyone. And in short, like, I actually like this bot a lot. I think he's a really, really fun bot. I wish that he underwent a rework where he could be more usable in the current meta. I'd love to see him have more health, and even with the health boost, which I think was kind of like a pioneer for what we use currently in some of the warrior class bots. I just think he needs a little bit more. Like, he's right there, he's interesting. I just need a little bit more to make him a bot that's usable in the current meta. So let me know what you think in the comments. There's gonna be more of these videos. I will say to you now, number 8 is Leozak. I've talked about him a bunch at length. So the next video that I'm gonna be putting out will be about the number 7 asset bot in the game. So look forward to that video, and I look forward to talking to all of you guys. And I will see you next time, and I will see you on the battlefield. Freezius out.